everyone. I hope you are all well and safe. As I thought of what to say this week, I had a very different blog planned. However, in light of recent events and watching all of these protests take part across the country, I really felt like I had to go to a different place. And I know for myself, my emotions have ranged from rage to just deep sadness, and also the feeling of helplessness, of I cannot believe that we're still here, that we're watching another situation like this. And I watched a speech from JFK back after some riots in 1968, and was reminded once again of the very powerful Constitution that we are all created equal. And thanks to my mom, who raised me at a very young age to be, as my dear friend used to say, your mom is colorblind. I like to think some of that bled over onto me as well. And I can't help but to feel all of those emotions. And I think the one, though, that was probably the hardest was the helpless, because I want to do something. There are many people out there I care about, and I spoke to a few of my friends this week, and you know, one of my good African-American friends said, every time a black man dies this way, a piece of me dies. And I'm so tired of walking into a store and having everybody watch me like I'm a criminal, or walking around like I have a target on my back, and my wife worries about me driving home alone at night. I just thought those are powerful words. And last year I had set up a little play date with actually it wasn't a play date, I was needing some help to get my son to an after-school activity, so I asked one of the moms if he could go with her son, and she was like, sure, absolutely, but please make sure your son has money on his card, his subway card, because I can't take any chances with the police or the authorities in the subway. Her son was a really smart, funny, talented, young African-American 12-year-old who had to be careful in the subway station. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I thought, we all could stand from stepping in other people's footsteps. What would it feel like to walk around as if you have a target on your back? What would it be like to tell your 10, 11, 12-year-old child to have all of your ducks in a row and don't do any single thing wrong, don't look at anybody wrong, or you might get pulled over and potentially hurt or even killed by a police officer? As a mom, it's hard for me to even imagine. And yet, in 2020, that is still a situation that exists. So in my moments of helplessness, I was seeking, what could I do? Obviously, we can all go out and peacefully protest. It is our right to use our voice. It is our right to stand by those who we believe should be treated with justice and fight for their rights. So certainly there's one. Vote. Get out and vote and hold your legislators accountable. We can't continue to have people say they're going to change and then not change. They need to be held accountable. And third, listen. I was taught a really valuable lesson a couple weeks ago. I was having a conversation with my friend, and we were talking about things, and we were both on very opposite sides of the conversation. And she said, I need to stop because I'm noticing that my emotion is getting in the way. And I want to take a moment to reflect that I'm hearing you and I'm feeling your pain, and I understand, and I want to understand more. And in that moment, everything changed. It no longer became a clash of opinions. It became a conversation of understanding. And I think that's a piece that we all can take a part in. There's also ways, if you're able and willing, there are places that you can contribute money. Even the slightest bit helps. And certainly helping families with victims. Some of those I'm going to post below. And check them out and see what's right for you. And then I think working really hard about changing the rules around police brutality, and also knowing and understanding that stepping into the cop's shoes, there are a lot of really good police officers who are doing their jobs and upholding the code of ethics. It's important not to demonize them too. However, some of them are under pressure too by police departments or police unions, so they don't feel like they can speak up, and that has got to change. So having independent review boards, reaching out to your local government and making sure that's in place. And finally, Campaign Zero. If you want to really understand a hugely comprehensive plan that's being put into effect and see if there's any way that you want to volunteer your time, your money, your efforts, even just awareness, CampaignZero.com is a great place to start. And finally, taking just a moment of internal reflection. Where are ways that perhaps we've contributed to the problem and didn't know it? None of us are perfect. We've all done things. We've all looked at people differently. Maybe we've said something. Maybe we've taken it one step further. How can we take a step back, shift our own mindset into a place of problem solving, from a place of seeing everyone as an equal human being and treating each other as we would like to be treated ourselves? So on that note, I hope you go out, be safe, use your voice, and shine. The world can still be a better place if we all take action to make it that.